Some of you expressed concern about the length of these videos. For your convenience, check out the table of contents on the right-hand side. Feel free to start at the beginning and work your way through the video for some awesome in-depth insights. But if you see what you came for, or just want to see something over that you didn't catch the first time, please feel free. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hey guys, I'm Shaft of the Clinic Casting Crew. Welcome to an episode of Crash Course. Today we're going to be looking at Scarlett's ZvP Swarm Host style. This is a awesome style for those of you who don't like the cost-inefficient attitude of Zerg. Sometimes, you know, Zerg has to be a base ahead, and it feels like, you know, some of the time other races can smother you out of that base, and excuse me, some Zergs like to have another option. This is one such option that doesn't require you to be a base ahead of your opponents. We're going to see how Scarlett uses this map to her advantage in pursuit of that goal. Now, we did see Hatch first, followed by Pool, followed by Gas. Now, this is a huge map, so you pretty much have to assume your opponent's going Gateway first. Of course, Scarlett is correct in assuming that, as the Cyber Core is being produced at this point. It's going to be a Gateway Expand, clearly. There's the Nexus, followed up by a little bit of that Warp Gate magic. We've made it through the opener segment of this strategy. We've got our first queen, our second queen. We are going to stay on pretty much 3 queens throughout this game. Once these 3 workers reach 100 gas, we're going to get metabolic boost, pull those bad boys off. So just bear that in mind. As soon as you get metabolic boost, pull these guys off and go ahead and start mining the minerals. Swarm Host, very, very mineral intensive. That means you will be getting your drone count as high as possible, as quickly as possible, as drones also cost nothing but minerals. Good job of these lings to take out the scouting probe. That's going to help keep some of this pressure off of Scarlett. And we did have, we did have a Overlord pop in there to check out what's going on. Scarlett doesn't have too much vision of the inside of this base, but has poked in here and is poking in here again just to make sure. We've seen the Forge, we've seen 2 gateways, we know that there's a gateway in here, so it's at least 3 gates. And we want to take a pretty quick third. So how are we going to do that successfully? Build 20 lings. This is about halfway through metabolic boost. Very critical to get metabolic boost on time, guys. For a bunch of different reasons, actually. And at 5 minutes and 45 seconds, we are going to go ahead and take this third base. And these 20 lings are going to be used to defend that third base. These are really only going to be used to defend the third base. Then we can free up that supply with, you know, a little counter pressure. Notice that the 2 queens have always been in a forward position to defend against that mothership core. And here we go, Ling swinging in here before the mothership core arrives home. There is a nice little wall off here. And it looks like the sentry will be able to hold. Even with that sentry holding, these lings going to try and come over here to take out this pylon. They are going to get the pylon, but a good force field there just in the nick of time. So that was not the most efficient use of 14 lings. However, it did free up some supply here for Scarlett, who's just producing a massive number of drones and has really little use for the lings at this point in the game. She is getting her lair, and throughout, you know, the defense and that attack, I want to rewind and just show you some of the awesomeness that is the honey bunches of Scarlett. Here at 6 minutes, we've got some pretty cool stuff. Around 6 minutes, we've got these 2 drones being sent back to the gas. Now, this is only 2 drones being sent back, and this is pretty much the start of the attack down here. Also, something worth noting, the 2 workers were actually sent back in at 6 minutes. They were at 44 supply, or, you know, close enough to it, and this was after the Overlord was produced. So once you reach around 44 supply, produce the Overlord, send these guys to gas. 44 is really that magic number when you jump back into gas production with any strategy. That's the moment where you're gonna need to start working on your tech if you've been delaying it heretofore. If you're not reaching that benchmark, that's something to work on easily. If you work on that, you'll get masters, platinum, diamond, just depending on your skill level, you know, where you're at now. 6 minutes 30 seconds. Go ahead and send that third drone back over. Around 52 supply. So we're going to fast forward this a second, because here at 7.5 minutes we're going to be getting our layer. This will begin the tech portion of the strategy. 7 minutes 45 seconds, we're going to get another queen, and that second gas should be following that up shortly. Third gas comes as well. That was at 7 minutes 45 seconds, roughly halfway through the layer. Around that same time, also getting evolution chamber and a roach warren, as you see there. And then 8.5 minutes, we're going to see the fifth and fourth gas. You going now? I think I said that backwards. Oh well. And at this point, we're also going to see a bunch of overlords just going in production. At this point, it's really necessary to start producing more than one overlord at a time. Roaches are overlord expensive. Thus, we are building basically nothing but drones. And moving in here to the 9-minute mark, that layer is going to go ahead and finish. So we build the infestation pit immediately, get roach speed, and get +1 ranged attack. Around this time, usually, you know, 10 minutes, maybe a minute, 2 minutes before, there will be some kind of Protoss poke. This is 3 zealots, a mothership core defending, a pylon going down. There is a reinforcement pylon back here, so there's a couple extra zealots coming in. A pylon going down there as well. But just watching the micro here, Scarlett pulls right on back to the spine wall. The spine wall was going to be going up either way, but the zealots, you know, realizing that they can't do enough damage to the lings and the reinforcement lings and the queens to stop the spines from getting up. So going ahead, pulling back without losing the mothership core. Very good decision here by Huck. That is going to sacrifice this zealots, however. A little unfortunate, but the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now, these other zealots could swing in here, but already knowing that there's just too much going on, that spine crawl or wall going to be way too strong. Defending the third started around 9 minutes 15 seconds. 16 lings, 15 roaches. The roaches were added in as possible while getting 6 gas, and while at 9.5 minutes still getting the 4 spine crawlers. And you're still producing roaches afterwards, and you still see 7 of those 15 all still in production, so only 8 actually came out for the attack, but still 15 roaches. And remember to stay at the spine line when defending. Now at 10 minutes, we're working on an Overseer plus Enduring Locust. Remember, observers are the only mobile detection that Protoss has, so very crucial to counter those with observers and hydralisks as this game goes on. And all the engagements since that initial ling poke have happened on creep. Notice that Scarlett has stayed on top of this creep like nobody's business. Make sure you're doing that if you're trying to use this style. It will not work without it. At this point, we're going to see a pump of a mixture of drones and swarm hosts. Some of these drones are going to stay on their mineral mining, while others will be going to producing spine crawlers. Even though there is creep here at this 4th base, and still Scarlett is in no hurry to take that base. And ultimately we're reaching 20 swarm hosts and 70 drones. And then here at 12 minutes we are going to begin that +2 ranged attack. This is the segment called Upgrades, Static Defense, and the 4th base. So you're going to be utilizing that economy to get even more economy, defend the economy that you have with static defense, getting upgrades for the super late game. All about the econ, you know. Remember to stay on top of the Overlord production, as well as keeping the Overlords in key positions. Check out this key position Scarlett's making sure belongs to her. At 12:15, we did take that 4th base. And then here at 13 minutes, we're going to be getting a Hydralisk Den and taking 2 more gas. Now, the Swarm Hosts are pushing forward, killing off, almost getting a Stalker, almost getting Zealot. Did kill 1 Zealot there. Hydralisk Den is down. We got +2 gas then as well. And at this point, we are sitting on what's soon to be 85 drones. 13.5 minutes, we're going to see the Overseer get reproduced. Somehow it died, probably scouting. Remember that creep spread is super important. We've got some drops going on here in the main, so we do see static defense going down in the main. Here at 13:45, I would recommend getting 4 spines in the main. You're going to want that drop defense in all the locations. Hive and Hydralisk range are going to be coming up here in about half a minute. So we're trying to get to that 3rd tier tech as quickly as possible as well. Still staying on top of the static defense. And there it is, the Hive. Plus Hydra range on the way now. Roach is cleaning up some of these attacks. And here at 15.5 minutes, we do have an evolution chamber. It's going to allow +1 melee, +1 carapace to be researched. And static defense at all your bases is very crucial. And now we've got a little bit of a poke here into Scarlet Spine Wall. Very crucial to keep your Swarm Hosts positioned well. There they go, spawning those locusts. And picking off actually a lot of high-tech units. Is Colossi going to fall here? Actually, that one really shouldn't have fallen, but 3 Colossi going down there. I think I only caught 2 on camera, but there were 3. Okay, I lied. There were only 2. Anyways, 8 more spawn crawlers in production at all these flanks. Really want to make yourself super safe against drops when doing this. We've got Roach Hydras being used mostly as a drop defense in the bases that don't have the static defense, and continuing to add some in. And we've got the beginning of some Viper production here as well. The Vipers are very good with Abduct. They can abduct Colossi into the Roach Hydra and or the Enduring Locusts. That makes for some super effective kills on the Colossi, which are really the only thing the Swarm Hosts are going to be concerned about. Now at 18 minutes or so, we've got the Ultralisk Cavern and 2 Spires in production. This is going to be the tech switch phase of the game, which is going to be the game throughout the rest of this game. By staying on top of masterful tech switches, the Zerg can do essentially whatever. It's really hard for Huck to have the production facilities to switch between Archons, to switch between Colossi, to switch between Stargates very, very rapidly. Scarlett, on the other hand, can do it on a whim. And we see that creep spread still outstanding. Huck been doing a good job killing it off, but Scarlett just keeps on rebuilding. Drops definitely Protoss's best friend. I have the 5th base for Scarlett now. Again, no real hurry to jump into the extra bases, and that patience really is kind of showing itself now. Swarm Hosts do a great job helping you get that economy up really quickly, and then you can use that economy to tech very quickly and then aggress against your opponent. As you can see, Storm being used, Colossi being used, still not enough to take out these overwhelming numbers of Swarm Hosts. Swarm Hosts mainly being a vessel to facilitate the growth of your economy. And then Roach Hydra, of course, being used to take out far away bases of your opponent and defend your own flanks. Good job eliminating those rocks to connect those bases. And now the Mules swarming in, trying to do their chosen amount of damage. Taking out a lot of this probe line. 24 workers killed now. Definitely catching up to the Protoss and then some. And now the Mutalists realize that they're not going to be that useful against the Tempests and Phoenixes, so they are switching over into Corruptors at this point. We've got the 1-1 upgrades still in production for Scarlett. Now 3-3 flying attack upgrades. And this is essentially all she wrote. That huge Corruptor Ball managing to take everything else out. It was really off the back of the Swarm Hosts that Scarlett was able to get such a overwhelming economy. Keep in mind that Swarm Hosts make it so that you can focus more on mineral drones as opposed to gas drones. Mineral drones, of course, mean more drones because drones cost minerals, not gas. You can dedicate a little bit more larva that way. And it makes it so that it's not necessary for you to stay one base ahead. As long as you can keep your creep spread up, this is a great style. So guys, if you want to practice this, you know, give these benchmarks a try. Check out the benchmarks throughout this video. Make sure you're hitting those. If you're hitting those, I guarantee you this strategy can be successful for you. One thing I'd keep an eye out for, of course, are Colossi. You saw how Scarlett chose to deal with them in this game in particular. The key usage of the Hydralisks, Roaches, and Abduct. One thing to think about, I know I wrote an article on StarCraft2Strategy.com about this one at one point. There's going to be probably a new article coming up on SC Dojo referencing it as well, scdojo.com. But think of there being 3 main categories of prioritization in StarCraft. You've got army, you've got economy, and you've got technology. And you have to rank them in order, 1, 2, and 3, with 1 being most important, 3 being not important at all, 2 being somewhere in the middle. Traditionally, Zerg is economy, army, and then tech. That's going to be more your Sauron style Zergs, that sort of thing. Back in Wings of Liberty, it was more tech, army, economy. With this particular style, it's going more to your Sauron style of Zerg, where you're going economy, army, tech, in that order. But you're not really getting a 4th base that quickly. You're getting a fairly standard 3rd base, but you're not emphasizing that 4th base like some strategies would. So it's almost like you emphasize technology over economy. It's just a different shift to the way the Zerg is prioritized. So by going technology, first you get the technology, you want Swarm Host as quickly as possible. Even the Ling attack is just to buy you time. Then you have the Swarm Hosts being produced. Once they're out on the field and you've got, you know, some defenses in place, that spine wall, you then focus on economy, which is going to be the third base, and then just the fourth base, and just pumping that maximum saturation over there. Now, to help compensate the economy a little bit, you're not having to worry about gas. When you're focused on highly gassy units, that's taking away from your mineral income every time you go to gas. So by not getting, a bunch of gas very quickly like you would with a fast Mutalisk style, Scarlett's actually able to help you focus even more on that economy despite not having that fourth base. It's just beautiful, beautiful play, really mixing up the traditional Zerg stereotypes. And as you can even see at the bottom of this replay, 6,690 minerals. That's how much she's got in her mineral bank. 2,606 gas. You can clearly see that Scarlett has been prioritizing this entire game mineral units over gas units. And that's all there is to it. Guys, I'm Shaft with Cast Crew. If you like this production, please hit the thumbs up button there on YouTube, share it with your friends, and give us a subscribe. It really helps a lot. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
신앙 선수가 되는 거고요.
그렇죠.
멀티에 방해도 받지 않으면서 안전하게 해주고 있는 모습인데 맹독충의 스피드업이 되기 전에 즉 전방 위에서만 싸워야 되고 전방만 좀 제거하고 빠지면 돼요. 네. 이렇게 스캐너만 뿌리고 이 근육을 살려면 하나 쭉 세워요. 그렇습니다. 이대로 대응 잘못하면은 상황에